Metaverse.
Greetings, I am Tyrant.
And greetings, I am Nate.
And today we are going to be testing, I wouldn't say this is functional fandom. I mean,
Well,
we can kind of put it in that medieval myth busting.
yeah, and it's functional fandom in the way of it's a meme, and there is a big fan base around this meme.
Yes.
But
This is a little bit different, and I have I would call it a self-defense weapon.
you have my pouch. That's what you have.
I have a self-defense weapon in my little pouch here. So what is it? Well, if you've checked out our short, you should check that out. You will know what we are talking about.
And that is
Pocket sand. Today we are testing pocket sand. Is it actually effective? Because it seems that there is historical precedent, is there not?
There is, and it's not medieval. It's from the 1600s, or 1599, in a fighting manual written by a gentleman by the name of Domingo, who is a very dirty fighter. We'll get into that as we go through the video, but he has some amazing and very Street Fighter techniques.
I don't like
to sword
sand.
fighting.
I actually legitimately don't like sand. Like, not even as a joke, it's coarse and rough and gets it. Like,
Okay, Anakin, you don't like sand.
I legitimately do not like sand. So today's video is a little bit, that's why I'm throwing it, because I definitely do not want it on me.
Wait, so I'm getting hit with sand?
Yeah. Didn't we tell you? I've got the pouch, so I've got the
This was my idea. Why am I getting hit with the sand?
Well, because I don't like sand. So we're going to be testing it out. We might do a couple of phases, and this episode really is going to be a bit like Mythbusters, to be honest.
Yeah, well.
We're going to put some glasses on Nate, and then we're going to put some glue on them.
Yep, just in the eye area.
Just in the eye
Just
area.
in the eye area.
And I am going to be genuinely throwing pocket sand at him. And we're going to see that if it obstructs his vision, obviously it would, it's sand, it's getting in your eyes. Everybody hates sand, not just me. So we will be testing rigorously whether pocket sand is actually maybe a good idea.
Well, because you can carry it every country in the world as self-defense, but
Is it illegal to carry sand
I
now?
don't know.
I don't think it is. So we want to test it to see if it actually can be feasibly used as, I don't want to say self-defense weapon, maybe just if your last resort and you just happen to have some, you've had a long day at the beach, you've got some sand in your pocket.
Actually, there's a meme of a lady who throws sand at crocodiles to make them go away, or alligators or something. So it's a last-ditch weapon. It could work.
Yeah. So I think we should get into the testing. I'm going to go and get the scientific equipment for testing.
Scientific.
Yes. Have you got something to? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I've
Keep them entertained.
Keep them entertained. Speaking of entertaining, actually, we've got Robin Swords and Marcus Vance who have actually done some shorts on this recently. We can put a couple of clips up, but those guys are amazing. They've talked about this, as well as a few techniques that we're going to be trying out today. And there's an entire subreddit for this. r/Pocket Sand has I think it's 50,000 members. There is a following for pocket sand.
There's a subreddit for pocket sand?
There's a subreddit for everything.
Man, you're probably going to like today's video then. I've got our scientific equipment here. We've got sand. Do you want to hold that? I don't like sand. I've got some glasses here. They don't need to be proper impact resistant glasses or anything like that.
Form-fitting is fine.
Just something that can protect the eyes. And we got some PVA glue, $4.40 each. And this thing has been sitting there for a while, so
It'll be fine.
hopefully it works.
It'll be fine. We're just going to put it across where the eyeball would actually be and see what actually sticks. Really fine sand. Domingo Lagodin says to use the finest grain sand you can find. So this is good.
Okay, well, that's a happy accident. We just had that laying around. We had this laying around. So yeah, I think it's time to get into the testing portion. So we're going to put some PVA glue just on these to protect the eyes, of course, and to see where his eyes, protect his old eyes, and we'll see where the sand actually lands on the glass. We're getting very scientific lately. I kind of like it. It's cool.
All right,
Let's get started.
let's do it.
Okay, so I've got your protective gear here.
You are kidding me, right?
Protective.
The eyes are pointed that way. Why do I always have to be the idiot on camera? I can't see. I can kind of see, actually.
So for the first portion of this testing, he's going to have a sword, and he's going to try and...
I'm going to hit you. That's what I'm going to do.
He's going to try and advance upon me while I use my pocket sand for defense. And whether or not it's actually able to inflict some eye damage and would be able to stop him in his tracks.
All we have to do is get this to stick to the glue. I'm going to count that as a win, I think.
I think it will stick to the glue. It's sand, and that's glue.
But you need to hit the glue first.
All right, we are ready for the testing portion. Here is your sword, you got the glasses.
We're not quite ready. We've got to do, you've got to set the scene for these things. Domingo Godino actually says that you may be attacked by day or by night, perhaps at your own disgrace, by muggers.
Muggers?
Where are we?
Muggers.
What are we going to do?
We'll mug them.
Yeah. yes, muggers.
Muggers,
But
sorry.
who may be flapping at cloaks. But the curious thing I'm wondering is, like, maybe meant at your own disgrace. Like, why?
Well, that's enough of all that. Let's get into the testing.
All right, fine.
You're right. I feel so sorry. Like,
No.
throwing sand at you. Damn, dude. I actually feel
So
really bad.
we were
about it.
oh my God. We were testing for the eyes, but getting that up your nose and in your mouth, like, I didn't even have my mouth open. I wasn't even breathing in. And it didn't just get into my eyes. Like, you were throwing up because that's where the pocket is. It came up into the nose. I wasn't even breathing in. Up into the nose. If I had my mouth open even a little bit, like, I could crunch, and it's like the meme of sand gets everywhere. It gets everywhere.
Are you ready to get more sand thrown at you?
All right, let's go.
First, we're going to clean these off, actually.
Yeah, good. Can I clean me off?
Guys,
Yes.
what are you working on? I'm hearing some very weird
Throwing
noises.
sand at me, so
Medieval myth busting. Pocket sand. Pocket sand.
Sand.
Yeah. It's actually pretty cool. It's working pretty
You
well.
don't think it works?
Sand, come off it, really?
Pocket sand.
Oh my eyes!
Go, let's go.
Oh, I can't see it, birds! Oh, oh my God! Why would you do that? Oh, God!
Told you it works!
I think we've tested at different, stop touching me. I think we've tested at different ranges, and we have some results now. We have some results.
I look like I have dandruff, for crying out loud.
Yeah, you can start
I'm
getting that.
going to. Yeah.
Let's look at some of the forensics here. We have a lot of sand coverage over the glue. This would have definitely gotten into his eyes, caused irritation, and stopped him right in his tracks, because he is a filthy mugger at the end of the day.
Okay, so I couldn't see anything.
Yes, that's because there was glue. Surprise, surprise.
No, I
But
could actually see through the glue. I could actually see through the glue somewhat, but once that goes up, like, it's just white. So it actually blocks anything through the glue. Not that we're testing the glue.
Right, so that was just testing at different ranges. We actually want to start to test a little bit whether or not we can get some combat in, whether it'll stop him in his tracks, and if I can pull out a weapon and attack him. We're going to do it all. You ready?
Yeah, sure. So what do you want me to do? I went in my shirt.
That was a very effective technique. Shall we try another? As you can see, another effective method of testing. I think these techniques work perfectly.
Oh no, he's got a bit of sand on him.
It's so much. 100% effective every time. 100% effective. Oh. These techniques of pocket sand could save your life.
Oh, they're not the historical techniques. I reckon that instead of me actually going to kind of hit him, I could actually properly try to hit him if you use the historical techniques.
Well, what are the historical techniques?
Okay.
Let's give them a go. Let's test them as we've rigorously tested everything else.
So the historical techniques would be, you've got sand ready to go in your right pocket, pants with actual pockets at this time. You would throw sand at your opponent, draw your sword, and your opponent would think you're now out of sand, but haha, you have sand in your other pocket that you continue to throw. We've got one pouch, so you're just gonna have to work with this.
I will,
Can you wear the glasses this time?
Nope. No sand for me, please.
I need a sword, I'm gonna hit you so hard. I know what we got here. I reckon I might mug you. Oh, come here.
I couldn't. As you can see, slow motion replay. I couldn't get into my pouch quick enough.
I mugged him. Domingo was a very dirty fighter, as I said. One of his techniques was kicking to the knees. Now, that's not very gentlemanly, Why are you laughing?
I mean, you're old and have bad knees, right? That is a yes.
I'll mug you for all your... Very effective.
For another take for the head. Take the head off. That seemed like a effective method.
Yeah. And another technique, Tyrant, you don't like cloaks very much, do you?
I do not like cloaks.
Okay, well hold this.
Oh, right.
Because part of the techniques is throwing the cloak at your opponent like a bull to blind them, to cover them.
Like pocket sand, but...
Like pocket sand, but cloaky, more cloaky. So when I approach you to attack, you need to throw that at me like a bull.
Right.
Okay?
I can do this.
You can do this. I'm gonna mug you. Why don't you... Oh, I can't see anything. That's amazing.
That took me ages to get out of my eyes. How are you guys going?
Well, at least
got
we
it
know it
now?
works. I feel great. I feel fine. No, it's all good.
Can I have my pouch back?
No. I kind of I like the little pouchy
Yeah, can I
pouch.
have my pouch back?
Nah, I like it.
Anakin was right.
Yeah.
I told you guys right from the start.
Right
I
from
said,
the start.
I hate sand.
It's not a meme. It's reality.
I mean, it is a meme, but it's also very much...
It is. You guys were using very fine grit stuff.
Yeah.
I wonder how...
We
Yeah,
are supposed to use the...
Yeah, you
the
wanna-
finest...
grain.
Here, I've got some more. You want to see?
It's like a flinch reaction.
I'm embracing it.
But like, if you're not prepared beforehand, unless you're like, because coarse dirt wouldn't really work the same.
No.
It would.
No, it wouldn't. Like, it would be somewhat okay in a pinch. Excuse the pun intended. But sand is really what you're going for, like the finest grain sand you can possibly get.
Do you reckon it's a dirty move or a tactical move?
Yes.
It's a dirty move. Well, we did test.
No, just yes.
Just we tested both because like
De Flamingo, we tested his move. The one how you throw the sand, draw your sword, attack, and then throw sand again. We tested it.
this is the thing, right? People misunderstand historical chivalry as like must be fair play and everything, when that's actually not the case historically. Chivalry had different interpretations, and you can even go to sources and they will encourage you to do dirty things to win, right?
To win, not to women. Win, to win. Sorry.
Well,
I couldn't hear from this angle a bit.
But,
Just on that note, sometimes they also talk about doing dirty things to women.
but to rein in really bad nights, because they were giving everybody a bad name. So I think something like this, if the police was to use it as a really good tactic, I'm sure it would give them a bad name.
Medieval pepper spray.
It's funny you mentioned that, right? Because I've looked into some of the period writings on chivalry. Like there's one by Chrétien de Troyes and Raymond Lull. And in some of the instances, they are depicting chivalry needing to be really noble and honourable. But there wouldn't have been a need to promote this type of behaviour if all the knights were already behaving that way.
Exactly.
And one of the key takeaways is that actually this was their own personal interpretation of how they felt knights should behave, not that they necessarily were behaving that way.
Maybe it would be a good idea for women to actually carry pocket sand, because
This is medieval pepper spray. This is like a man trying to have and then run. Like,
as long as you scream pocket sand, as long as you scream pocket sand, you have to.
But seriously, like, because sometimes there's winning, and then the way you win doesn't necessarily matter if you just and keeping a pouch of fine-grained sand to really like just. If you can take out the vision of an opponent so effectively.
Well, we did. If he wasn't wearing those glasses, it would have been like there was that time where you couldn't actually see.
Yeah,
And-
I think I went to spear tackle you when you had moved at the time. We can probably show the clip again.
And you couldn't see me.
No.
I was completely over here.
I caught the blackness of the jacket after I'd already passed you.
And
Also, I had my eyes closed for a lot of it, because as much as I trust safety glasses, I didn't want to completely trust the safety glasses.
there was also the other time where you were swinging wildly. And the only reason you got me was because I stepped to the wrong side and you actually caught me, but you couldn't see me.
Count that.
That was, okay, we can count that one. But in all our testing, we did our joke testing where I was just throwing punches with sand. He couldn't see at all, and it got into his nose and his ears and his mouth, and it was...
It really was, like, even to the point where getting it up my nose from one of those uppercuts.
Uppercut ones, yeah.
I did not expect that, and it immediately shocked me enough that I kind of reared back. My arm was still going forward. I still was trying to do the hit, but I lost all structure.
Interesting. And you know, it's interesting how comparable this might actually be to pepper spray, in the sense that if someone has their adrenaline up and aggression up, it's probably not going to stop them just swinging wildly, but that's actually the case with pepper spray. They've done tests. Sometimes it can really prevent people because of the pain, but other times when someone's just going berserk, it won't stop them and they'll keep going.
And most of the testing was with a sword, and most people these days are unarmed. We're not carrying around swords, so
Well,
it'll definitely give you that edge.
carry swords.
Then when we tested the historical stuff from, what was it, Domingo?
I'm just going to go with that now.
The Flamingo. When we tested his medieval methods, they were quite effective and very dirty, but
He's a dirty fighter.
It's official HEMA though, it's a historical source.
It is official HEMA, so you know your standard 350 Newton masks, you might want to wear these underneath them as well, because pretty sure the fine grained sand will get through them.
Does that mean they should allow it in tournaments?
Matt, you need to answer this.
Because I don't think they would, because it could actually damage people's eyes.
It would.
But it's sometimes
It is
more
HEMA.
historical than some of the stuff you see in tournaments.
I'm pretty sure that a dirty fighting like that would not be allowed in tournaments. But you never know.
So, medieval myth busting, pocket sand.
I think this is plausible.
I think it's more than that. I think it's confirmed.
I think
Confirmed.
it's confirmed.
I think
too.
it's confirmed.
There we go, Ike. The things you find out. Thank you once again for joining us, everyone. We very much appreciate it. If you want to support the channel, you can through Patreon, Nutrien, or subscribe star. Really help us out. Also, if you subscribe, if you like the content, so you don't miss out the next video, which we hope to see you there. So until then, farewell.
Pocket sand. Do you think there's any way to actually defend against pocket sand, you know, in the face?
Well, I mean, eyeglasses work.
What about medieval eye protection?
Well, eye protection didn't exist in medieval times. Actually, the opposite existed. You had full face coverings with eye slits for helmets.
A helmet?
A helmet?
Like this helmet?
Like that helmet.
Well, why don't you try it on?
Well, I mean, I could, but I still feel like that putting this on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need. That kind of works.
Well, how about this? Pocket sand.